This is BS. This is BS. Why are we here? I am going to call corporate.
Who the hell gave this guy a video camera? Welcome, I guess, into another edition of BSing with Big Nate. Good luck.
Push against my will, that'll never work. You push so hard until it hurts. I think you know, I know we need to show the world we're unbroken. It's unspoken. There comes a time in your life when you start to awaken. You're not the center of the universe. Something has taken your breath and gave hope. It's an unfamiliar feeling, but it's growing on me. I don't wanna mince words, you're saving me. Thank you for taking the time out of your life just to hold up mine. I'll be fine. You can lead me to the river, but the river's run dry. Don't fall in line just to try to find your easy way. You're not at the center of everything. Someone has taken your heart and gave hope. It's an old familiar feeling, but it's growing on me. I don't wanna mince words, you're changing me. Thank you for taking the time out of your life just to hold up mine. I'll be fine. You can lead me to the river, but the river's run dry. Let me go. Let me fly. I'll be fine. Let me go. Let me fly. You had held me up so that I would rise for eternal flight. I don't wanna mince words, just save my life. I just wanna thank you for taking the time out of your life just to hold up mine. I'll be fine. You can lead me to the river, but the river's run dry. I'll be fine. The river's run dry. I'll be fine. The river's run dry.
That was Saturate with Thank You on another edition of BSing with Big Nate. You know what it is. You know what we do here. I play a track. We talk to musicians. And frankly, we have a little bit of fun. I am joined this evening by Jimmy, the singer for Saturate. Jimmy, thank you for joining me.
Hey, what's happening? Thanks for having me.
Really, I want to see how many times we can say thank you during this this here video. So
I've been looking forward to that, actually.
of course, when I go through the tracks and everything, I do as much research as humanly possible, and then I take 0 notes, and it's all up here. But there is a message behind this track that I think, given the way the last 2 years have gone, is something that's really important and powerful. And I could explain it. I don't want to put words in your mouth. So what is thank you meant to be?
Actually, I hate to stop you there, but I would rather hear it. First, and I'll give you a little, but I would rather hear, because it's I've gotten a lot of different explanations, and it's only been out for a few days.
To me,
and I've already heard a lot.
To me, and I feel like this is, of course, my perspective on this. The whole reason I started this thing here is because of the pandemic. So to me, it's an expression of gratitude for all the support of those who have, supported you through everything going on, not only during this time, but throughout Saturate's career and existence.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. Again, that's what it means to you. And that is correct. That is 100% correct.
What if I'd say it's about spaceships and aliens?
That one is not correct.
Okay, good. Just making sure that it wasn't a trick question.
Yeah. And another person said that it was actually an FU to people, that it was, nobody is strong enough to hold me up, so I have to hold myself up. And I said, you know what? That's correct. I had another person, two people sitting right next to each other, that said, the first one said that it's just a gracious thank you to the universe. But the next one beside him said, listen to that. He said, the rivers run dry. He said, that's the lyric right after thank you, is the rivers run dry. So there's no way it's gracious. It's saying you led me in the wrong direction. And I said, you're both right.
See, to me, the way I kind of take that it is I don't have any more possible gratitude to give because it's so overwhelmingly powerful. And I think when
that's a good way to think of it. I like that.
When you have lyrics that are just so versatile, I think that's kind of something that's really powerful to me, because the old saying is that the beauty of the art is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. Like how does that make you feel as a musician, knowing that people, once it's out there, like in the ether,
it means that
they can take it and run with it.
It means that my work on it worked. The art in it comes from several different places. And this is with a lot of songs, especially this one, that the pieces of the song, if you look at pieces of the song, if you were to pluck a verse, if you were to pluck a chorus, if you were to pluck this particular sentence, whether it bleeds over into two different parts or what, you're going to get a specific time in my life, a specific moment, which is intentionally meant to be not vague, but be interpretable in a lot of different ways. But then also, if you take the surrounding pieces to that and you put the song together as a whole, it's an entirely different story, both to me and that you can interpret it as, depending on how much of it you take. And I write a lot of the songs I write a lot of the lyrics like that intentionally. And that for this one, it is graciousness. It is gratitude. That is very much in there, but it's also, there's an empowering spirit as well, that is in there.
So, I mean, is that on your part, is that an intentional strategy that you're kind of implementing, or is it just what naturally comes to you?
Both. I can't take disparate parts of a song that come from different parts of my life and comfortably have them sitting next to each other without working on making them cohesive. That's a problem at the beginning of a lot of the songs, that when they're first lyrically coming together, is I think, well, it's great, but it doesn't make sense yet. This doesn't connect to this feeling. And I need to come up with an overall point in my life that stands for what these new combinations of feelings are, what this new story is that takes you on this little mini journey. Now I need to know what the overarching thing is. And if that helps. It might be too much.
So and another thing I've got to ask, I kind of want to pick your brain about, because you talk about how it's all coming from these different points in your life. You've of course got the musical side of it and the things you guys have already released up to this point. Does that help or hinder you? Do you go back and I want to listen to this, I want to hear, kind of where I was at then, and it takes you back almost like a time capsule? Or do you just ignore the past? And
no, they mean, they're written to always be fluid. They always mean something new to me. I really became attached to one of our old ones, Damage the Memory, recently, which intentionally was two separate concurring stories, depending on how you listen to it. And I mean, wildly separate stories about one. There's one about life that I was actually experiencing, and there's one about death that was actually in my past. And that one recently, I think it was about a year ago, we were rehearsing it, and it hit me in a whole brand new way, a very deep way. And it meant a lot more to me all of a sudden, out of nowhere. And they're meant to be like that. They're meant to be timeless. You won't find anything that'll date itself in any of our songs. The only quotes and phrases I use are ones that get tossed around the van when we're on tour. If something gets said too many times in the van, guarantee it's going to end up in a song. Yeah, that's happened many times.
So I kind of want to look ahead to the future because you guys have had, a pretty successful, powerful past. So
Thank you.
obviously right now there's a forthcoming EP. What looking ahead through the rest of 2022, best case scenario, what's your plan?
EP is going to be out this summer. It's called Feed the Fire. That's number one. That's what we're really looking forward to. We'll be releasing every track off of it, giving every track 6 tracks, and they're all going to get their moment. They'll all get some sort of video or lyric video or a single release or something like that. So that's going to keep us busy this year. Ideally, we've already started working on new music. We got a couple of collaboration type things that we want to pursue for sure, and release a whole nother EP. Ideally by the end of the year, by the end of 2022, once we've run these 6 and put all of those out. But we don't know what's coming in this next year. We don't have anything booked, and we really want to get into some of the festivals, the festival circuits, things like that. And we're doing everything we can to get in on those.
So you mentioned, of course, EP coming out this summer and then eyeballing another one towards the end of the year. I've talked to a lot of artists over the last 2 years, and there's kind of been like a running thread of the format of like a full length LP is kind of dying. Do you subscribe to that belief?
I don't, but that's because I thoroughly enjoy albums, and I thoroughly enjoy sequencing albums and making it one experience. That's another thing that when I was talking about earlier, the pieces of a song, they might mean one very specific thing to me, and then the song as a whole overarches. Well, every time we put together any of the albums in the past, the songs themselves become those pieces, and the album is the larger whole. And there's a lot of thought put into which ones go before which ones, and not just sonically. Sonically is actually last on the list of how we order the records. Mostly it's where's the story going? I can't say this before I say this, or I can't be this mean next to being this apologetic. That doesn't make sense. So yeah.
No, I love that, because that's such a profound consideration to have, is kind of ignoring the sonics of it, and the actual tone I think creates a more cohesive. I can tell you that there have been albums in my past that I've put on and been like, this is not quite the order I would have put this in. And usually I've been lucky that cases where that's happened, it's things like, well, yeah, I don't know, that definitely feels like an album closer, good time, party time song to round it all out. But thankfully with digital music being what it is, I can sort the album any damn way I want.
Yeah.
But there is something pretty profound. Like the one I always go to is the Toadies Rubberneck, one of my favorite albums of all time. And if you listen to it, there is a story there. There is an escalation that just gets really wild. And I think the way they I Burn, when it comes on, it's such a jarring, different track from the previous.
Right.
But it just fits so well with the story. And I love when a band can do that. Mm-hmm. I think it's just so impactful, because it is. I mean, you're basically listening to a story.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. I mean, it wasn't called VH1 Storytellers with no reason.
Yeah.
So I honestly, there's a lot to look forward to. If you missed somehow the first little bit of the video and missed, thank you. Definitely check it out now. Of course, give them some love. They're on Spotify, any other
YouTube,
streaming services.
iTunes,
I'm
Amazon,
sure.
all of it.
Spotify is my go-to, so I always go ahead and list that one because I know for sure. Facebook, just give Saturate some love. We're looking forward. Do we have an actual release date on Feed the Fire, or it's going to be
Feed the Fire? We're looking at June is what we're talking right now. But the closer we get to June, we'll see. There'll be a lot of conversations to have about exactly the timing of it. And I think initially we were going to release it with the 3rd song, but it might be 4th by that point. Right. Some things are taking a little longer than we anticipated. So
Well,
Yeah.
we will of course be keeping an eye out, and I hope to talk to you again soon, closer to the EP's release. Jimmy,
Absolutely.
thank you
Love
so
to.
much. You have a great day.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Nate.